YouTube. My name is Crankshaft, and this video is mostly just going to be a test. Make sure I get the right camera angle, make sure my microphone setup is going to be good. So I'm riding a 2001 CBR 600 F4i that I actually only had for about a week now. And I rode it 8 hours up from Pensacola, Florida to where I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. Overall, I mean, it was set to be a mediocre trip because it was going to be rainy most of the way. A lot of it was riding at night, and it was on an unfamiliar bike. So I knew it wasn't going to be, a fun road trip on the way back, but it ended up being a lot trickier than I thought it would be. And the main reason for that, when I first got on the bike, signed everything, rode it away from the dealership. This is something I should have rode it before I signed everything, but live and learn. Started to ride it away, all was well, and got up to a stoplight, started to slow down, and the front brake was just sticking, like it needed to be greased up or something. The brake lever, that is. What I ended up having to do is have 2 fingers on one side and 2 fingers on the other, and just precisely control exactly how much braking I was doing, because it was just, it was sticking so bad. Now eventually that kind of cleared up. I stopped at a stoplight, pumped it enough times. It might have just, it's been a while since it's been ridden, whatever. Got that cleared up, and then the next time I tried slowing down on it, it felt like the front brake rotors were warped. It was just like, it was pulsing. There was a lot of pulsing in the front brakes, and that kind of freaked me out, so I was kind of holding off on using them for most of the trip. Rear brake and engine braking only, leaving, triple the room I would usually leave for cars, so on. And that was the first problem that I noticed with the bike. The second thing I noticed, a little more of a cosmetic thing, it had been Plastidiped black, so in every nook and cranny that you couldn't see with the photographs of the bike, and that I didn't really see because I wasn't paying much attention to it before, there was Plastidip left over, and this old Plastidip that wouldn't just peel up easily, like really thin. It was too thin really to peel up. It was really obvious the guy had sprayed the whole bike with all the fairing and everything still attached, instead of just taking the fairing off and spraying it separately and giving it, spraying it like you should, doing a good job with it. I stopped at a gas station, pulled off the little pillion seat where the storage compartment is, and noticed there was a little switch in there, so I flipped it, had no idea what it did, flipped it again, still nothing, so I just flipped it back to where it was to begin with, made sure that it was fine. And later I found out, when it got dark, there were green LEDs all along the bottom of my red bike. And I'm a fan of Christmas, but not so much that I want to ride around on a green and red bike. Of course, it hit me that when the bike was black, that's probably when they were put on there, so it made a little bit more sense. But regardless, that turned into a whole other problem, because the lights never really turned off. They just get kind of dim when you flip the switch, so there must have been a short or something in there. But it was running my battery down, and that was a problem, but not anywhere near the problems that I had later down the road on this trip. So, but that was that trip, and this is this trip. And this trip I'm taking right now is actually from Fort Smith, Arkansas, all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where I live. And it's going to be pretty loud because I'm on the highway the whole way. So probably what I'm just going to do for the majority of it is speed it up, throw some music over it, and so on. God, I knew I should have brought my rain gear. See you next time. Oh, God.